There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. Yeah, it was a lot of hot water when it came out. It got a lot of media attention because everyone saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me. And it didn't go well.
I'm scared. I think YouTube is dying, and I don't know who to tell. The past week has seen the public downfall of YouTube golden boy Mr. Beast, with accusations coming out against him, one gruesome story at a time. This video is going to be an analysis of one of the most disturbing stories to come out of this situation in the backdrop of what feels like the end of one of the only systems I once thought to be fair.
And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell.
The victim's YouTube channel is plugged on the screen at all times. I don't care if you subscribe to mine, like seriously, just subscribe to his channel because that is like the least of what he deserves. The premise of this torture video was actually previously executed once before on a Japanese game show, which is widely regarded to be one of the most evil game shows in history. And so, of course, it had to be a Mr. Beast video. Now, I will let the victim tell his story. This is, of course, slightly edited down to focus on one situation in particular, as well as brevity, but the full video will be linked down below for you to watch.
I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, hey, they want you for a video. I was like, oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God. Why you keep nice publicly? If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public, let's have him back for something. They try to make the pitch sound like it's gonna be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. Oh, at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like, what items am I gonna get rid of, you know, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only gonna be bad for the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's gonna be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're gonna get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure. I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. I get there, and at first it's fine. And I mean, they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, you know? Which that's probably not good, you know, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual. It looks good on camera. You know, it's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Like, things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. You know, there's not like a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking like a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes, on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. Like, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. But the little thing started to build up, you know, there was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor. They weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Well, I don't know how they figured that one out. I didn't have it. You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. They're giving me, you know, melatonin, you know, it's not helping, you know, and then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. Having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, so I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming. So I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. It was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? I started to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash? And I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it. You know, fucking, you know, don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this, we gotta stop. Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me want to, I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, why is he sleeping? I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic, I'm dumb, I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I was like, on camera, I don't want to do that. He goes, just do it for the thing, like, kid, you know? Like, there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want. You know, that's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's, he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard, because we know he's good. I couldn't say no. If I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, you know, so much money up in flames. because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. People who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, you know? Let alone a marathon, let alone that training for it. So I was in a sunlightless, you know, and so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, you know, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well, and I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it. They brought in all the people I liked, and Jimmy. Then everybody was around me, making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy, he was sitting in the chair, turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video, and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just... I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, your mental health's the most important thing. I just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out. I did not get the 300K. What I got, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. My family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there, everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake, well, I don't love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now. I just had to get that out there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. They didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Part of me wants the footage burned and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. He was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things. Reminder, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a Mr. Beast video.
YouTube has started to feel like home lately. From watching cartoon episodes on it when I was a kid, to watching DIY YouTube channels as a tween and young teenager, to starting to watch video essay analysis. I basically grew up on YouTube, much like Mr. Beast. I wanted to be a YouTuber since I was 12. I mean, I always wanted to be a filmmaker. At 6, I would ask my dad to come film my latest movie, for which I'd build a set with my dolls. And yeah, I knew that I had the world stacked against me, making it in the industry. But YouTube seemed like the great equalizer, you know? Anyone with a phone and the talent can make it. I believed in that, and I think I wanted to believe in that so much that I didn't want to believe when people pointed out the flaws. That this perfect world was just made up of people in the real world. Us, flaws and all. It felt pure. A fraction of the American dream. But like the American dream, it's fractured. Like every system where there's money to be made, it's broken. But it's not like the real world. All our voices, while they may not be equal on social media, there's strength in numbers. The masses have a voice, right? And I think that's why there's been so much social progress just in the last 10 years alone. I mean, I was born in 2004 and I was too young, I admit, but 2010 to 2020, like on so many issues, racism, sexism, homophobia, I like to think that we've made progress on it. I like to think that the general consciousness has been updated. Maybe I just feel that way because I became less stupid. Or maybe more stupid. I don't know. Social media is the best place for us to unite. To fight against corruption, right? Especially corruption on social media. I mean, I grew up with cancel culture around me everywhere. But it seems like something has long infiltrated the water. They have infiltrated the water. The same corporations that we thought we came here to escape from are right here. Of course they are. What are we talking about? Why did we even think that for a second? They were just hidden in plain sight. An admission of my fear feels like a selfish way to start this video. I know the first thing I should talk about is the grief I felt as he told the story. But I think what I felt was more than grief. I saw in him a reflection of me. Easily exploitable, traumatized filmmakers with tough childhoods and a whole lot of grit. My dream feels embarrassing, childish. I feel heat on my ears as I admit to what I want in this life. And I see in him me. I hope he's not too offended.